Kareem just got a wire transfer, 320,000 euros. He reads the number, reads it again. His uncle died 3 days ago. A quiet man, frugal. Showed up at family dinners twice a year and said almost nothing. Nobody really knew what he had. Turns out, he had everything, and he left it all to Kareem. 320,000 euros sitting in his account right now. Enough to buy his house. Cash, no bank, no interest, no monthly payments, no one telling him what to do with his own money. He calls his best friend, Antoine. Antoine, who earns 5,000 euros a month and hits 340 euros by the 28th. Antoine, who started investing 6 months ago and for the first time in his life is beginning to see money differently. What would you do? Kareem asks. Antoine doesn't hesitate for a single second. Buy cash, obviously. And that's when Kareem does something Antoine didn't see coming. He opens his calculator, and he shows him why that answer, that obvious, instinctive, unanimous answer that 95% of people would give without blinking, might be the most expensive decision of his life. Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand something the truly wealthy have always known. Something your bank will never tell you, not because it's hiding the truth, but because it doesn't even understand what people building real fortunes actually do. Buying cash feels like wisdom. Zero debt, zero interest, zero banker breathing down your neck. Except here's the truth nobody has the guts to say out loud. The truly rich never buy cash. Never. And when you see the full calculation, when you see the actual number, you will never look at debt the same way again. Stay with me. What Kareem is about to show Antoine will change how they both think about money for the rest of their lives. And maybe yours too. 3 questions. We answer all 3 today. 1. Why is buying cash, the safest looking choice, actually the decision that can silently cost you over €1 million? 2. What is the exact strategy the truly wealthy use to buy real estate, the one almost no one around them understands? 3. What is that number? Precise, calculable, verifiable, that completely flips how you see debt. All 3. But not yet. Kareem has 320,000 euros. He can buy cash tomorrow, or he can do something no one in his family will understand. Something that 20 years from now will create a wealth gap nobody can explain, except by luck. Picture 2 men, same city, same age, 35, same inheritance, 320,000 euros. Same house, 320,000 euros. Kareem, option A. He buys cash. 320,000 euros leaves his account in a single transfer. The house is his. Completely, immediately, no conditions. He sleeps like a baby that first night. No bank, no payment, no debt. Just him and his roof. Antoine, option B. He puts 32,000 euros down, 10%. He borrows the remaining 288,000 euros over 25 years at 3.5%. His monthly payment, 1,440 euros. And the 288,000 euros he didn't lock into the house, he invests it. That evening, Kareem's family finds out he bought cash. Everyone congratulates him. His mother cries with joy. His father says it's the wisest decision he's ever made. Nobody knows what Antoine did with his 288,000 euros. Nobody congratulates him. Nobody cries with joy. The money is sitting in an account. Invisible. Silent. Working. And what it's about to do will change everything. Here's the first truth nobody bothers to calculate. When you buy a house cash, your money enters the brick-and-mortar world. And in brick-and-mortar, money grows at the rate of real estate. In France, over the past 30 years, 3 to 4% per year. Solid, reassuring, tangible. But here's what nobody mentions in the same breath. The global equity market, major indices, diversified index funds, has averaged 8 to 10% per year over the same period. 3% in property, 8% in the market. A 5-point gap. On 288,000 euros over 25 years. A 5-point gap over 25 years is not a small difference. It's the difference between a comfortable life and total financial freedom. And that is exactly the calculation Antoine is running on his phone that evening. But the return gap is not even the most powerful argument, because what I'm about to show you next multiplies this advantage even further. There's a mechanism, used systematically by the wealthy, that makes this gap even wider. Economists call it leverage. And Antoine is about to explain it to Kareem with just 3 numbers. Kareem, option A. He invests 320,000 euros into a house worth 320,000 euros. It appreciates 4% that year. He earns 12,800 euros. His return on investment, 4%. Exactly the house's rate. Antoine, option B. He invests 32,000 euros as a down payment on that same 320,000 euro house. It also appreciates 4%. He also earns 12,800 euros, but his personal return on investment, 40%, because he only put in 32,000 euros of his own money. He controls a 320,000 euro asset with 32,000 euros of his own capital. That is leverage. You control 10 times more asset than you actually own. And the 288,000 euros he didn't put into the house? It's working somewhere else, in parallel. Simultaneously, at the pace of the global market. Two engines running at once. The house appreciating. The portfolio growing. While Kareem only has one engine, the house. Here's the complete picture. The number that changes everything. Same starting point, 320,000 euros. Same house, same 25 years. Kareem, option A, cash purchase. House bought for 320,000 euros. Appreciation at 4% per year for 25 years. Final house value, approximately 853,000 euros. Gain, 533,000 euros. Additionally, Kareem saves 300 euros per month and invests it in the market throughout this period. At 8% annual return over 25 years, that grows to roughly 326,000 euros. Kareem's total net worth at 60, approximately 1,179,000 euros. Remarkable. Genuinely impressive. Antoine, option B, credit plus investment. Same house, same appreciation. Final house value, 853,000 euros. Credit repaid over 25 years. Principal plus interest at 3.5%, approximately 432,000 euros. Net equity on the house, 421,000 euros. The 288,000 euros invested at 8% per year for 25 years, approximately 1,976,000 euros. Same monthly savings of 300 euros a month, same 326,000 euros. Antoine's total net worth at 60, approximately 2,723,000 euros. Read those numbers again. Kareem, 1,179,000 euros. Antoine, 2,723,000 euros. Gap, 1,544,000 euros. 1,544,000 euros. Same inheritance, same house, same neighborhood, same life, seen from the outside. Kareem stares at his phone for a long time. Then he looks up. Why has nobody ever shown me this calculation before? Because, says Antoine, nobody does it. And then Antoine says something Kareem wasn't expecting. But this calculation assumes something enormous. It assumes you have the discipline to invest those 288,000 euros and never touch them for 25 years. Through market crashes, through the years when your portfolio drops 30%, through the moments of doubt when everyone around you says you should have bought cash when you had the chance. Do you have that discipline? Kareem goes quiet. And that's the gap between the perfect calculation and human reality. Because here's the truth nobody dares say plainly. Option B is mathematically superior. But psychologically, it is almost impossible to execute without cracking. Borrowing money you already have requires iron discipline. You watch 288,000 euros sitting in an account, untouched, while simultaneously paying 1,440 euros every single month for 25 years. Through recessions, through 40% market drops, through every voice in your head screaming, sell everything. Most people break. Not because they lack intelligence, because they're human. That's precisely why the wealthy, those who've used this strategy for decades, don't recommend it to everyone. Not because it's a bad strategy, because it's not built for everyone. Here are the three profiles for whom option B is clearly right. Profile 1. You've proven your investment discipline. If you've invested regularly for at least 5 years without withdrawing during a crash, you know your psychology. Option B is built for you. Profile 2. You're in a high tax bracket. Mortgage interest can generate tax advantages in certain conditions, and your ability to optimize fiscally through a PEA, life insurance, or a PER amplifies the performance gap even further. Profile 3. You have long-term income visibility. 1,440 euros per month for 25 years is manageable if your income is stable, your job is secure, your situation is settled. If your life is uncertain, that constraint becomes a trap. And here are the three profiles for whom option A, buying cash, is clearly the better call. Profile 1. You haven't yet proven your investment discipline. If you've never held a portfolio through a downturn, if watching 288,000 euros temporarily lose 30% would make you sell everything, buy cash. Peace of mind is real value. It just doesn't appear on any spreadsheet. Profile 2. Borrowing rates are high. When rates exceed 4.5 to 5%, the equation shifts dramatically. The margin between the cost of credit and the expected market return narrows to the point where the risk no longer justifies the reward. Profile 3. Your personal situation is unstable. Professional mobility, family uncertainty, possible geographic moves. If your life is likely to change significantly, the flexibility of buying cash is sometimes worth more than any theoretical gain over 25 years. Let's watch this play out in real time. Year 5. Kareem's house is worth approximately 389,000 euros. 5 years of 300 euros a month invested in the market. Roughly 22,000 euros. No debt, no monthly obligations. Peace of mind, complete. Total net worth, approximately 411,000 euros. Antoine's house is also worth 389,000 euros. Outstanding loan, roughly 260,000 euros still owed. Net equity on the house, 129,000 euros. His 288,000 euros invested 5 years ago at 8%, approximately 423,000 euros. Same monthly savings, 22,000 euros. Total net worth, approximately 574,000 euros. Gap at year 5, 163,000 euros, in favor of the one who borrowed. Kareem looks at that number and for the first time since signing the transfer, wonders whether he made the right call. He bought peace of mind. Antoine bought performance. Both have value, but the value is not the same. And the gap keeps widening, every year, in one direction only. Year 15. Kareem, house worth 576,000 euros. 15 years of monthly savings, 104,000 euros. Total, approximately 680,000 euros. He owes nothing, not a cent, to anyone. Antoine, house worth 576,000 euros. 10 years of credit remaining. Net equity, 336,000 euros. His 288,000 euros placed 15 years ago at 8%. Now approximately 915,000 euros. Monthly savings, 104,000 euros. Total, approximately 1,355,000 euros. Gap at year 15, 675,000 euros. 675,000 euros. Between two men who received the exact same inheritance on the exact same day. Kareem doesn't know it yet, but in 10 years, when Antoine makes his final payment and looks at the total value of what he's built, that number is going to take his breath away. Here's the number nobody calculates. The opportunity cost of locking 288,000 euros into property instead of the market. The difference between 4% and 8% annual return on 288,000 euros over 25 years. That opportunity cost amounts to approximately 1,540,000 euros. Not lost through bad decisions, not squandered on pointless spending, simply never generated, because the money was in bricks instead of the market. Kareem didn't make a stupid choice. He made the choice everyone around him told him to make, and that is precisely why it cost him so much. Remember where this started? Kareem at his kitchen table, 320,000 euros in his account. Calculator open. Antoine on the phone. What would you do in my position? Antoine had answered without hesitating. Buy cash. Obviously. That evening, after seeing the full calculation, Antoine is quiet for a long time. Then he says something Kareem wasn't expecting. You know what's the most frightening thing about all of this? That my instinctive answer, buy cash, obviously, is the answer everyone would have given you. My dad, my mom, my bank advisor, my friends, everyone. And yet it's probably the answer that would have cost you the most. Kareem looks out the window. That's why most people stay in the same lane their whole lives. Not because they make bad choices, but because they make the choices everyone around them approves of. And the choices everyone approves of are rarely the ones the truly wealthy make in silence. Now, I have to be straight with you, because if I ended this video saying credit always wins, I'd be doing you a disservice. There are situations where buying cash is clearly the better decision. If rates are high, above 4.5 or 5%, the equation changes radically. The margin between the cost of credit and the expected market return shrinks until the risk no longer justifies the potential reward. If you don't have the discipline to leave 288,000 euros untouched, buy cash. A loan taken out to invest, whose capital you gradually drain, is the worst possible combination. You pay interest without generating enough return to cover it. You lose on both sides at the same time. If your life situation is unstable, Professional uncertainty, family changes, possible relocation. The flexibility of owning outright is sometimes worth more than any theoretical optimization over 25 years. And if debt eats at you psychologically, if every monthly payment is a source of chronic, low-level anxiety, no spreadsheet gain will ever compensate for that mental cost. Money is a tool in service of your life, not the other way around. Here's the truth that lives between the numbers. The one nobody says plainly. Kareem didn't make a mistake. He made a choice. A rational choice, given what he knew that evening. A choice his family approved of. A choice that gave him something no calculation can capture. The absolute certainty that his roof is his, from day one. That certainty has value, but it also has a price. And that price, silent, invisible, compounding over 25 years, is the price most people never calculate before they sign. Antoine didn't make the smartest choice. He made the most mathematically optimal choice for his specific situation, with his proven discipline, his stable income, and his ability to hold a long-term strategy without wavering. The question is never cash or credit. The question, the only one that matters, is, who are you really when it comes to money? Before any real estate decision, run the full calculation, not just the mortgage interest, the opportunity cost of your capital, the gap between property returns and market returns, the leverage effect on your actual net worth. That calculation takes 30 minutes, and it can be worth hundreds of thousands of euros. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Do I have the discipline to never touch the invested money for 25 years? 2. Does my life situation allow me to comfortably carry a monthly payment for 25 years? 3. Do current rates leave enough margin between the cost of credit and the expected market return? If you answer yes to all 3, option B deserves serious consideration. If you answer no to even one, option A may hold more real value than any theoretical gain. We started with Kareem, 320,000 euros in his account, a decision that everyone around him approved of. Now you understand leverage, opportunity cost, the 5-point gap between property and the market, and exactly what that gap generates or destroys over 25 years. Now you know why the truly wealthy never buy cash. And you know why this strategy isn't built for everyone. But here's what we didn't cover today. Kareem has his house. Antoine has his house and a portfolio that keeps compounding. Both still work. Both still need their salary to live. Every month, the same ritual. Work, get paid, spend, invest what's left, start over. What if I told you that this ritual, this monthly cycle you consider normal, inevitable, just the way things are, is actually the most costly trap in your financial life? Not your mortgage, not your investment taxes, your paycheck itself. Not because earning money is a problem, but because the way most people earn their money, trading time for euros every month, indefinitely, is a mechanism designed to keep you exactly where you are, on the treadmill, productive, busy, comfortable, but never truly free. In the next video, I'm going to tell you about Thomas. Thomas earns 5,000 euros a month, has a great title, a nice car, a nice apartment, and 340 euros in his account on the 28th. And about Matthew. Matthew earns 2,500 euros a month, half of Thomas's salary, and he is quietly, without anyone noticing, without anyone asking how, surpassing him. The next video is called The Salary Trap, and the truth it's going to lay bare, the truth nobody dares say out loud in a finance video, might just change the way you look at your paycheck. Forever.